In many ways, Jimmy Page did prove to be a wizard. His talent, formidable will, and business sense not only created the most successful hard rock band of the time, it transformed a generation and an industry.
You don't, create a band and take it to the top of the pinnacle and produce all those great albums without a certain cohesiveness of willpower. Let's put it that way.
Page's wizardry transformed the way music was performed and recorded.
Jimmy Page is an amazing producer. He makes things sound really present. It's right in your face, it's right in your ears, in your head.
Led Zeppelin defined the era of the long-playing album. While their music was never aimed at the pop charts, Zeppelin ruled the FM airwaves and concert arenas. They are, by most measures, the most commercially successful rock band ever. Jimmy Page embraced every aspect of the business as an opportunity for what we now call branding. When the press focused too heavily on gossip, he turned their attention back to the music and the myth with a typical flourish. For Zeppelin's fourth album, Page had each band member choose a symbol to represent himself on the cover, but pointedly omitted any other information. Jimmy, of course, refused to reveal the meaning of his own symbol. Fans were literally enchanted.
Perpetuating the myth. There comes that phrase again. It's a brilliant strategy, and it works to this day, you know.
From their first note, Zeppelin was a stunning example of musical alchemy. Each member was an irreplaceable ingredient in their musical chemistry. Minus one of its four essential elements, there would be no more miracles.
The most important thing was the music, and the music could not continue without John, apparently.
After Bonham's death, each member of the band mourned in his own way. Jimmy Page put down his guitar for 2 years and gave full rein to his reclusive side. He mixed the band's farewell album and wrote the soundtrack to a film. Page didn't perform again until 1983, when he joined several of rock's superstars at a benefit concert. Before returning to the stage, Jimmy resolved to kick heroin and did so in a matter of days. Now 60, Page's wife Jimena and 3 young children are his priority. He devotes time and energy to a charity run by Jimena that cares for homeless children in Brazil. Page has since toured and recorded with other vocalists, but he has never replaced the musical magic he shared with Robert Plant. He and Robert played together on a 1994 MTV Unleaded special and toured twice as Page Plant in 1995 and 1998. They have no plans to revive Led Zeppelin. In August 2004, Jimmy Page was the first musician invited to leave his handprints in the new British Rock and Roll Walk of Fame. Robert Plant and Kevin Gammond founded a music education program and a record label at the same Kidderminster College that booted him for his famous rendition of the Lemon Song. And yes, Robert occasionally drops by to lend an ear or an opinion. Now divorced, he still lives in the Black Country near Wales, where he is a rabid supporter of the Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club. He continues to explore and collect music from around the world. The quiet one, John Paul Jones, has gone on to a varied career as a solo artist, producer, and composer. Jones has toured and recorded with opera singer Diamanda Gallas and worked with R.E.M., Brian Eno, Paul McCartney, and to their great delight, with Heart. He has not worked again with Page or Plant. Peter Grant's larger-than-life journey ended in 1995 when he died of a heart attack. After Zeppelin, he never managed another band. But during his glory days, Grant left an indelible mark on rock and roll history. As John Paul Jones put it, there were absolutely no limits for Zeppelin. The only rule was that the music always came first. Led Zeppelin would do anything to ensure that.
I think having that determination and also being able to have the combination of Jim, John Paul Jones, it was the right box of fireworks.
From early on, when the band tired of life in the fast lane, they would retreat to a rustic cottage in Wales where Robert Plant had vacationed as a boy. Walking in the countryside, sitting around a fire at night, inspired softer, more intimate songs that offered a glimpse at another side of the band's artistic soul. As it turns out, their spirit, like their music, was without limits. Another creative haven was a rented manor house outside of London.
There was a big marble entrance hall with an oak staircase that went up 2 floors all around it, and that was where the drums were, and, you know, they just sounded enormous. There was a big living room next door, which was where John, Paul and Jimmy were, in front of a log fire playing. Yeah, it was fun.
Several landmark recordings took place here. Using the entire house to record in gave Page a fresh canvas to work on. Most importantly, Headley Grange was a hideaway where the music could unfold in its own time.
Mandolins, guitars, pianos, mellotrons, whatever it may be, would be there at their disposal. And some days people wouldn't get out of bed. And some days people wouldn't go to bed. There's no formula that I can give you as to how they wrote songs. They just did.
Led Zeppelin was always on a quest, you know, it seemed like they were on a quest to merge a lot of different realities into their music.
When something is that good and that honest and that soul qualified, it does not go bad. It does not degenerate, you know.
It's authentic.
It's authentic.
The most requested rock song of all time was completed at Headley Grange. Robert Plant had been reading a book of Celtic history. Jimmy played him bits of the song on cassette. As he sat by the fire one night, the first lines came into Robert's head.
There's a lady who's sure,
And the rest is history.
and she's by
The stairway to heaven is in your mind, babe.
Led Zeppelin guarded the secrets to their musical alchemy. But maybe it was nothing that could be put into words. You simply had to be there.
to heaven.